Welcome to the Ref Room, hockey talk for referees, coaches, players, and fans.
Broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
With your hosts, Smokin, Silz, and Baumruck.
Live.
The Ref Room starts right now.
And now your host.
Oh yeah, welcome to the Ref Room, everybody. I am Smokin Silz, along with my man Baumruck, and I am having technical nightmares already. It's just one of those days. I think it's just too nice out.
I can't even see you.
That's exactly. Yeah, I'm and my teleprompter's not functioning correctly. Everything is just,
there it goes.
It's just a little off as usual, but we're here.
You got the TV
Hope you guys are doing well, man.
That.
We got the fireplace roaring because it's hot as hell out there. It is summer in Chicago already. I love it. And then we'll be right back to winter tomorrow. Hope you guys are doing well. And it's as far as like excitement. What's that?
First day of spring was yesterday, Scott.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe. It's here. We're on the good side of things, which is awesome. I don't know about you, but I love summer in Chicago, and typically March and April are not my favorite months here because we don't get this kind of weather. This is the weather I love. I mean, spring weather is amazing when we get it, but this is like a keeper. I'm more used to what we had on Saturday, and fortunately, we were like in the building all day at the ADP. I think I put in 12 or 14 hours, and I'm sure you put in even more than that.
Thank you.
But that was amazing. Like, what a great weekend. Saw some really great hockey. All those AAA players out there, showing off their crazy, mad skills and toughness, and lots of our veteran officials working with our newer officials and getting them ready for the season and, getting them into referee positions that they don't normally see, or 3- and 4-man that they don't normally get to see. So we had a great weekend. I mean, I had a lot of fun out there, and we got some awesome young refs coming in to,
it was a really good weekend. And I would like to say, to anybody, the individuals that were on the ice that we had this weekend mixed together, because we did have what I would consider more veteran program people that are going to bid us farewell and jump off our skating roster and go out.
You're referring to me?
No, which is fine. But they will be also still helping us out throughout the year, which is the goal here, to make sure that we're creating officials that are going to stay home. If we find a diamond in the rough that's really, really good, we'll help you get to that too as well. Yep. Scott, thank you for all your help over the weekend. You were there.
It was
really long.
It was my pleasure. I love all those guys that were skating, and everybody was so anxious to learn, and well receiving of any feedback, and implementing new things and trying new things and learning, and it's just great. I mean, this is a really fun time of the year. I know our season is it's not really over because we're between seasons. We're going to come into spring league here in another 10 days or so.
10 days, yeah, because it's already almost the rosters will start the 1st. So
yeah, I mean,
10 days, right?
We were just talking about getting the season going and how crazy it is, and now the season is over and we're getting ready for more craziness with spring. So we'll have about 6 weeks of insanity again. So
hey, Scott, so think about this. 2 years ago and 4 days was the day that everything shut down.
Wow.
Because it's the 21st and everything stopped on the 17th.
Yeah, that's right. It was like St. Patrick's Day 2 years ago.
Yep.
Wow, that's just scary. Crazy.
Yeah, we got through everything this year. It was a good ending.
Yeah, we did. We got the season in.
Talking about regular hockey, Scott, did you see what the Blackhawks did today? Since we're
No, I didn't. I've been in the studio all day, working here because, as you could see, it's coming together a little bit better, right? I mean, it's looking, more like a studio now, but my teleprompter's not working properly, and I've got my Stream Deck up, and I just lost my camera again.
I don't know what.
I think it's
over there, but
I think it's overheating. To be honest with you, I think we're actually overheating. Believe it or not, I've had this on for several hours trying to check it out and get it ready. because I'm still kind of testing this stuff after wiring it. Here we go. So I have to
ordering you
reset
a
the
fan.
camera. So I think it might be overheating. It's a little warm in this studio today because it's a little nicer outside than we kind of expected, I guess. So
I'm ordering you a fan.
Well, I've got a ceiling fan up here.
I'm
I got
ordering you
central
a
air
desk fan.
conditioning now, okay? So I don't have to worry.
go.
I just haven't turned. I got the window
Turn it
open. I
on.
don't like air conditioning. I'm just funny that
I
way.
got-
So
I got the front door open. I'm with you because I'm in our front room. But no, yeah, the Hawks traded Marc-Andre Fleury.
well, I'm not surprised because hasn't
Neither
Fleury
am I.
isn't his record? He's never missed a playoff season. I think, if I'm not mistaken, every year he has been in the playoffs with the team he's been with. So who did they trade him to? I'm assuming.
Minnesota.
And Minnesota, there goes my camera again. And Minnesota's in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I would assume, but I don't know for sure. Let me go look. Great question. They also traded Ryan Carpenter for the Flames.
Was that the deal that was? There was a deal made yesterday or the day before that even upset the Hawks' new coach.
No,
I
that
think he was
Hagel.
disappointed. Who was that?
Hagel.
Yeah, they weren't happy about that trade. He was very
Yeah, well.
surprised by that. So, even when the coach doesn't know that there's a trade made, that's, I don't know.
Hey, better than the player that finds out when, like the TV tells him.
Yeah, well,
Because that happens.
that happens a lot. And, that's just the business that they've chosen. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's the business you've chosen. You are at the team's will or mercy where they want to send you. So, if you're going to play in the NHL, get used to it. Unless you're special and you've got the contract that doesn't allow you to be traded, which not
Like
many guys have.
Marc-Andre.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Minnesota's in right now.
Yeah, so Mark's going to a team to be in the playoffs and make a run.
Yep.
Kind of thought he was only going to be a one-year player here, or a rental player for us for a season, and he was awesome to have because I know the fans love him to death. So,
Yep, I
I
agree.
wish him well. I mean, the Hawks are not making the playoffs this year. Otherwise, he might still be here, I would assume.
Yeah, I
because he
would
was a
think
big
so.
part of the season for the Hawks. So I wish him well. I mean, I don't know where he's going to go
Rebuild.
next year. Well, yeah, we're definitely in a rebuild.
That might be his end.
And
Oh, there goes
that's
the
end
camera
for me.
again.
As you say, the end. There it goes again. Yeah, it's just overheating. I have a feeling. I'm going to give it a second here. So we can go on the Brad Baumruck focus here.
There you go. Well, what else you want to talk about, Scott?
Well, let's talk about my technical difficulties here that I seem to be having.
Let's not talk about that. What did you
I mean,
notice out on
I
the
could
ice that
probably
people were
switch.
struggling with?
I could give you a different angle. I wonder if that camera's working. Yeah, see? Let's see if that switches over. So
Nope.
I'd have to switch it over there, but that one's running fine. So I think this one's just overheating. I think the cam link's overheating. So probably from that fireplace burning in the background. I thought,
Exactly.
I thought we'd
Well,
rev that up a little bit and, smoking.
Scott,
right?
what did you notice this weekend spending so much time at the rinks? What were the new officials struggling with in the 3 official system?
Well,
Because I got a
that's-
couple things, so I'll
That's
tell
a
you.
really great question. So I think number one, first of all, let me explain the format that we ran this weekend. Because I'm going to say right now, it's a bit of a challenge for the referee. Not so bad for the lines, other than the games were very long. Day one, I wasn't there. They were 25-minute halves.
Running.
Running.
Hang on, running.
Day two, they were 35-minute halves. And I don't care if you're telling me it's running. It was a friggin' long time out there for everybody. Everybody noticed that 35 minutes was a long time. Because guess what? We aren't stopping down. All right? Yeah, we're calling offsides. Yes, we're calling icing. AAA players aren't icing the puck more than a couple times. And guess what? If they ice it, the goalie's sending it down. So we're not having that 40-second delay, from somebody slow boating back to, get the play started. Like, we are keeping this thing moving. And, we're not calling the typical standard that we would normally call, which means we're not having a ton of stoppages. We are
Let's cover
rolling.
that real quick on what you mean. So the typical standard, the USA Hockey Enhanced Enforcement plus the new checking emphasis with these games, because they are evaluation processes for the players. They're instructed to make sure and call injury potential penalties and to call all goal scoring opportunities. Let's put it that way. And to make sure and just keep the game very under control from that standpoint. If somebody accidentally trips somebody, we're going to let them play. If somebody holds somebody, we're going to let them play, because the players are there to be evaluated. Their talents can shine on the ice, whether they're being held or possibly tripped. So as long as it's not injury potential,
exactly.
It's said, let's keep going. We understand, because these games really are just the tryouts for the national team, and it's one of the several steps for the players that are attempting to make it to those teams. Yeah. I keep going though, Scott. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these are the best players in Illinois. We had all the best players, and we had guys that came in from. I can't say they came in from other states, because they have to reside in the state of Illinois, is my understanding from John Dunn. Because John was great. John, we talked for, probably 20 plus minutes, and he explained certain things to me. John's a big fan of the show. I'm going to tell you that right now. And he likes what we're doing, which is great. We get, we're getting support from all over the place. So we appreciate it. We're an independent thing. So, getting some love from everybody is kind of nice. But as a result, he's actually helped us in some ways, to understand some things better and how the process of everything works. So John was explaining that, as long as the player lives in the state, because I saw some uniforms I've never seen before. I'm like, where
Caesars? There were some Caesars ones.
I know what Caesars looks like, but there were Caesars players. There were St. Mary's Shattuck players.
I think there was a Christian Brothers Catholic player too.
I believe you are correct with that.
I believe I saw a CBC player. So that probably means that he lives down in the southern part of Illinois, and he plays at the private school there. And because he's an Illinois address, he is eligible to play for our tryout camps. So I know I saw CBC, and that has to be them.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. And there were some others that I didn't even know or recognize. So I'm either guessing they were either, somebody said we had some downstate players that, I just don't see the uniforms for, because you could have high school students, you could have other, as long as they're AAA caliber and invited to this thing. I mean, they're there to show off their skills, and, and man, some of these guys got mad skills. Like, if you saw some of the stick handling moves and I don't want to say toe drag, because it wasn't even toe drag. It was passes from, oh man, I'm going to go crazy.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, it is. All right. So I'm going to give you the back of my head here. I'm going to switch this, because this camera over here, even though it's a back view, is running nicely. So
yeah, that's not bad. I like that.
Yeah. It's the back of my head. I got a shiny spot back there, but at least you can see me from back here. At least it won't go off, so you can kind of see you guys. I got to do a studio tour for you guys one day, because I never have done the studio tour, and right now you're only seeing a very little bit, but you can see this is the teleprompter, which is not working because it's tied to that other camera.
Teleprompter. Yeah. Don't act like we planned this out that much, Scott.
Well, It's not for reading like that, but it allows me to be able to look at the camera and at least look.
I know what you do.
Make me look like I'm looking at you, because I don't have a built-in camera on any of my stuff.
Right.
So I've got a camera inside that teleprompter, and normally I can see the show, so I can kind of watch things from there. That's one thing. Gotcha. Or I could use it as a teleprompter. We just don't use it as that, because nothing's scripted here. Otherwise, we'd be way more on point than we usually are, and everybody knows it.
Well, so anyways, going back to the players, I agree with you. The players really shined throughout all of it. I think I saw 7 or 8 players try the Michigan, which...
Yeah, I saw a couple of them whine. I didn't see anybody get that puck up, at least not when I was watching.
I saw 2 guys successfully get it up and come around the net, but neither one of them scored.
Yeah, I saw a couple, that had a moment, and they were going to try, but they couldn't quite get it up on the stick at the time. But, forget the Michigan. I mean, I saw some unbelievable passes, unbelievable shots, some unbelievable stick handling. I mean,
A lot of good
guys just
saves. A
yeah,
lot of very good
a lot of
goaltending
really
here.
good goaltending. I mean, it's impressive. You know, we have now what 5 AAA teams in the Chicagoland area. Okay,
Correct.
I mean, when you think about the depth of talent that's out there, it's pretty scary because if we didn't have 5 teams and we still have national champions, even with 5 teams, we might have a lot more national champions. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, our team, all the teams fared pretty well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
But just
everybody was
imagine
represented.
if you took the best of the best, which we have in the AAA, but if you took the best of the best of the best, you know, if it was like an all-star
That's what this is.
situation, well,
That's what this was. So
well,
let's
this
get back
is.
to the
This
refereeing.
is, and you know the thing is that you are seeing these guys playing together when they don't normally play together. So you have all 5 organizations with players on the same team right now, which is it's pretty cool.
Yep.
You know,
Some of
it's
those
amazing
players
these
are going
guys
to be
can.
playing in nationals.
Yeah,
If you really think about it. So
Yep.
that's kind of interesting as well.
and these guys just jump right in and they play well together without having any practices together, or you know maybe they know some of these guys during the course of the season. But it is very cool. But yeah, let's go back to the referees because some of the things that we saw, other than like the games were pretty long for the guy in the middle. When you're working 3-man, monkey in the middle, it is a lot of skating out there. So
Yep.
you want to cover some of the things that we saw that you know are kind of commonplace issues.
There was one task tossed into the comments already by Michelle that was there. So you can throw that in there.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
That's a great place to start. And we'll talk about why we understand this and what it all is and how to start to combat that.
Stops
situation,
and
so.
starts. Big no unless you want to be gassed within 5 minutes. Boy, you hit the nail on the head there. Now, I got to tell you, I watched one of the guys that's in the ODP program out there skating. And I don't really know Christian, okay? But the minute I watched Christian, I'm like, oh, this guy gets it. Because guess what? He's not having to work super hard out there because he's working smart. He is. Now, could he go a little bit harder? Probably could if he needed to. But guess what? He knew how to cruise. I didn't see him stopping and starting like crazy. So he knew how to skate the figure 8s out there. And that is the key, okay? Figure 8s are the key. And what do we mean by that, Brad? Why don't you explain figure 8s to those that don't know what we're talking about for referees?
So instead of stopping short to let play pass you, what you will actually do is skate beyond the play. So as the play passes you, you then turn with a controlled turn and do a cross under. I couldn't think of the word there. I had crossover, but I couldn't get the under. A cross under in order to push your body back to the board. So simply put, if you go back out onto the ice rink one day and take a controlled turn and take your inner foot and push it underneath your outer foot, that foot will drive you right back to the boards, which is minimal work for you. Crossovers take you too far out into the center ice area. You don't want to be in the middle of play. And you're just going to loop back and forth. You want to keep momentum. In the referee spot, momentum is our friend. Stopping is not our friend.
Right.
The only time you want to stop is when you need a rest. Where's the best place to stop in the game? On the goal lines or at center ice. Center ice is a good place that a lot of referees get caught and they don't realize they can stop there, and they end up starting to do one of these from one blue line to the other blue line to the other blue line when the play just stays in the neutral zone. You can set up right on that center line. Your field of vision is open. You can see everything. And once that play develops and goes into the zone, you can proceed after it. You don't need to be going back and forth the whole game. You're just going to get tired.
See, I think that's one of the big misconceptions. Now, if you go back and if you look at like 70s NHL video, and this is kind of funny, okay?
They're way behind. They're way behind.
The whiteboards, you know, there's no advertisement on the boards, and you see the ref, and he's basically standing out at center ice, and he's leaning on the boards, probably just like chilling out, like watching the game. Because guess what? He's got a good viewpoint. One of the biggest things, I'm not calling anybody out, but one of our probably the best skaters we have right now, who's I'm not gonna say he's a little bit of a newer referee, right?
Yeah,
He played junior hockey. I'm not calling him out.
Yeah, he's on. No,
but he's
on
such a good skater that he can just fly so much that I'm just like, dude, just slow down.
Follow
Relax.
the play. Don't try and catch it all the time.
Yeah,
Just
because
follow it and watch.
He looked like me when I first started, and I was doing might and squirt games. I was trying to stay even with the play. It's like, doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that.
That's how it is in the 3 official system, and you get very tired very quick. So I'll tell this to anybody that's going to try banding a game in the 3 official system at the referee spot. I guarantee you 150,000%. I can tell you control turns, don't stop, calm down, do this, do that, do this. You are going to be exhausted by the end of the first period, no matter what you do. Everybody's done it. Everybody's been there. You can't get to the second game until you do this. So you correct along the course as you go and start to learn. There's little cheats and tricks that help you out along the way. So don't get discouraged.
Hey, I got a great cheat for you. You ready for a great cheat? Put the team 5-on-3. That's a great cheat.
Yeah,
that's a great cheat. Now you can chill out. You get a little rest.
So it's
you don't do that.
No, I'm with you. So the stops and starts are just huge. The other thing is center ice escapes. Referees in the middle. When you put the puck down, I know that everything is taught USA. USA.
I want to preface this. This is a really great point, guys, because this is something I was never taught. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. But, I wasn't exactly taught. So I learned something again this week. From compliments of Brad, but tell everybody if you're reffing, like, give it to them. And this should go for a 2-man too. Should it go for a 2-man, do you think, if you're dropping the puck at center ice?
I transfer it over to all my officiating crews that I work, 2, 3, 4. I don't stand at center ice. By the time the puck has hit the ice, I have already taken 2 strides out of center ice. So what you do is you turn your body and set up technically sideways. You can still set up in the front way. However you like, whatever's more comfortable for you. As the puck is leaving your hand, start your feet in motion. Take 2 strides forwards. Go past the wingers that are behind you, whichever side is comfortable. Turn back around and skate backwards out. 3 official system, the biggest thing is you are the only one that can call penalties. Yeah. And there's not a lot of penalties off center ice faceoffs. Do they happen? Absolutely they do. Yeah. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say, well, you're turning your back to the play, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. It's a very brief time period, but there's another little cheat in here. You know that stuff that's in front of you that goes around the whole rink and keeps the puck in? What's that called, Scott?
The glass. The window.
Yeah,
the window.
You ever notice in an ice hockey rink, you can see the reflection in the glass when you're on the ice? You can look at everybody as you turn your back for those 2 seconds in the reflection in the glass. You're not officially turning your back. You are, but it's kind of an illusion to the players because you can still see. So use that glass to your benefit. So that's also why, like when you have games that start out and, the penalty bench is opposite of the players' benches. Okay, this is the only down point, or the one great benefit to that rink. Sorry, I'm having a problem finding my words today. But in those rinks, the beginning of the game, when you have benches on opposite sides and the penalty benches on the other, you start the game facing the timekeeper because you want to make sure that they're set and ready to go, right? After the first drop of that period, you don't have to drop on that side anymore.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to look at the benches. Unless it's a 2-man. At 2-man, you typically stay the way you start.
Correct.
because you got somebody actually over by the bench, or if somebody's over by the penalty box, it doesn't matter. They're going to back out. They're going to get on the bench side. So, it's not super important. You got eyes on both sides. So the 2-man, you don't. Right. But the 3-man and on the 4-man, you're supposed to face the bench when you drop the puck.
Yep. It's just so you're not skating out into potential line changes. So that's the big thing. And, it's so hard to teach with the center ice faceoffs because we are taught naturally to drop, look behind you, wait it out. And I get all that. But once they start using this system, the 3 official system, those guys are moving. And gals, you got to get yourself out of there because guess what? The freight train's coming.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be on the tracks.
Of the 9 dots that we drop at, the least safe spot for you to drop is center ice. You are better off on any of the other dots, any of those other 8 dots other than center ice as an official. I don't care if you're working a 2-man, 3-man, 4-man. If you get the chance, put the puck down at one of the other 8 dots.
Do you know
better for everybody?
The most unsafe dot, Scott?
Yeah. What's that?
Do you know the most unsafe dot in the world?
Probably the most unsafe would be the penalty kill, and you're dropping in the end zone when it goes back to that defenseman who swears he's not going to hit you with the puck.
That one's dangerous, but there's one that's really, really dangerous. It's at center ice, and it's at the rink at U of I in Champaign because that rink is like a big square. It's like 200 by like 160. It's really crazy.
I haven't been there.
It's absurd. Like
so it's like international plus 50%.
Yeah, and you drop at center ice, and you take your steps back, and you turn backwards. And you're skating backwards, you're like, the board should be here. And you turn around and there's like another 20 feet behind you. It's crazy. That's the most dangerous dot in the world. I'm convinced of it.
Okay.
And I won't lie. There was one time I did that and I thought the boards were there and I turned and guess who was coming right at me? Mr. Defenseman.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Defenseman didn't appreciate when I laid him out onto the ground.
Yeah.
And everybody banged
Mr.
their sticks
Defenseman didn't realize you're a big boy.
Yeah, he didn't appreciate that. So I understood his frustration. The only thing I could say to him was, sorry.
I
probably should have had your head up.
Well, but, he was looking for that crack in the earth. He was waiting for an earthquake. So it happens.
So on top of that, the stops and starts, the center ice faceoffs. The one thing too is referees revert back to flat backing. In the 3 official system when they become the referee. I don't know why referees feel they can put their back flat on the boards and take 1 foot and shove it to get down the boards. I don't understand that. You must not have seen anybody do it, Scott. I saw everybody do it. There was quite a few doing it out there. But
I'm not sure about that.
You turn and skate. And you don't flat back the boards. Flat backing is your worst nightmare. You're a solid object sideways.
Yeah, you got to be on an angle at all times. That is another great safety tip. If you are
45-degree piss on the puck is the term.
That's
we can say it
pee on the puck to put it
more
politely.
However you want to do it.
I know that everybody hates when we say that, but it really is true. That's
true.
How you if you're facing that puck all the time, it's a lot safer for you. You get an escape route. That and stay off the boards, obviously.
Yep, 100%. What else did you notice, Scott? Any linesman stuff? Linesmen were really good, I thought. Even guys that had never done it.
Yeah, linesmen were doing a good job. Probably the biggest thing for the newer officials is watching your partner. If you're lining a game, you've got to watch your partner almost as much as you watch the game. That's number one. Because you got to know where your partner is at all times. Number 2, I think for the newer linesmen, I think, knowing when to creep down a little bit closer to be able to cover the blue line versus sometimes they're a little too far away. They're a little closer to the red line, to center ice, where the correct position would be about 50% to that between the blue line and the red line would be like when it's not your line. That's when it's not your line. So you'd be a little bit closer to that blue line to be able to creep down. And when you see the puck is on your partner's side of the ice, and you see players are beyond that dot, maybe up at the circle, that's your chance to kind of creep down. And that's when your partner probably should get out of there. But, you have a lot of partners out there that, some of the younger guys are, pretty much adamant that they're not giving their lineup for anything. They'll take on anybody, all comers. And yeah, you're pointing at you. Yeah, I know. I see it.
I don't leave that
you
blue
don't give
line
your
open.
line. Yeah. I'm not afraid to give
you're gonna
mine
have
up.
to skate.
I'm happy to give mine up if I need to. I mean, one of the best things you can learn to do at that higher level is to be able to, flip-flop. And flip-flop means you're covering both lines. You're both covering both lines. And what I mean is when the puck is not on your side of the ice, it's your line. Did I explain that well?
That work it well. Yeah, yes. It's a teeter-totter method.
Yeah, it's the seesaw.
Like a teeter-totter.
Yeah.
The seesaw. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
yep. So
I think it's a safe way of doing it. Like if you're working, big boys, U18 college games. These guys are, 200 plus pounds and they're over 6 feet tall, and you got 4 of them coming at you. You don't want to be there. Sorry. Even Brad doesn't want to be there in that situation. He's got 4 of them coming full force. It's not a good place to be.
I don't want to be, but I'm probably going to be there.
Probably there. Okay. All you tough guys,
The one thing with that system, though, when you start using it, you have to make sure that you and your partner are very well connected, like you said, Scott,
again,
because it does not work.
No.
If one of you's doing it
hand
and the other
signals,
one's not.
You need the eye contact to know that they're getting out of there. That's number one. B, you need the hand signal to know when you can go back. And, some of the officials, I worked with, can I call him out by name? Because he was awesome at this. Arifi.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good on the line. Like we could just point like, okay, we're not giving it up yet, or we're giving it up and, take it back now. So great communication, great eye communication, great hand communicate, like everything just like dialed in, like no problem. We got all the lines covered. We know when we're taking the line back, when we're not taking it back. For some guys, it's more of a silent thing. And I don't always like it. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It works well for some people. Just a little look in the eye and that's your line back again. But,
that's me.
Guys, hand signals work really well. They're great.
Yeah,
eliminates any confusion like, well, I really wasn't trying to look at you, but I looked at you and I didn't mean to look at you. And now you think it's your line. But, that's just something that I think comes with practice and with working with some partners that are good at doing that. You'll learn from them.
Yeah.
And some people communicate better than others. That's one of the big things, guys, as officials. Communication skills are so imperative. Like, we have some officials, we call them serial killers. We call them serial killers. They don't smile. Their face would crack if they even like gave a little smile. Their face would crack. They're focused. But, it's, having communication skills works well with the players. It works well with the coaches. It works well with the goalie. You can gain some friends out there. I'm telling you, we say this all the time on the show, but the goalie can be your best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Compliment the goalie. Nothing wrong with saying to the goalie, wow, that was a really nice save, man. Or, hey, great save. Good job. Even if the goalie gives up a goal. Hey, man, they left you out hanging. Nothing you could do on that. That wasn't on you. Doesn't hurt. Like, they appreciate it. At the end of the game, I don't care if that goalie loses by 5 goals. There's a pretty good chance he's still going to come over and shake your hand at the end of the game because you were the only guy that gave him a little encouragement during the course of the game. And when I say this, it's keeping just a good rapport with that goalie makes a big difference. He's going to hand you the puck probably. He might shoot the puck down on an icing for you, save you a couple strides. Problem in the defensive zone with a couple players. He can help you in those situations. His players, his defensemen will listen to him. They do.
Yeah, as long as he stays in his cage.
Yeah.
Because if he comes out of the cage, then he got an entirely different problem. But
yeah, I know. This is something we talk about over and over again because it really is important. Good communication skills. Working with the players, working with the captain. Coaches. It's always nice to be friendly at the start of the game. Some of them now won't even look at you. They won't shake your hand. They won't talk to you. They won't sign the score sheet before the game. There are some out there.
They're missing out. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I mean,
the other part of the linesman stuff that you were talking about, Scott. So what's supposed to happen at the end of a period?
Referring to the 8-second rule. Mm-hmm. I didn't always see that happening, but especially in the 3-man. But you do it in the 4-man too. So with 8 seconds left in the period, there's two things. One is if you have a face-off down in the defensive zone and there's a scoring opportunity, and there's 8 seconds or less left, you're both going to be down there. You have the one person that's dropping the puck. So you have this would be more in the 2, I guess, because in the 2 you would, instead of being R2 in the back, you would come down and get on the goal line, like referee.
Yep,
so that's part. But I know that's not where you're going with this. I know where you're going. Yeah, the 8-second rule is right. So if we've got a 3-man, and let's say the referee is on the bench side of the ice, just so I can make this a little bit more visual for you. Okay, so the referee is on the bench side of the ice, and he is down at the goal line. The linesman that is opposite him will now come down to support him in the last 8 seconds to show presence. That is so we don't have any problems towards the end, especially like the end of the game or a tight game where they might be 6-on-4. There might be a lot of stuff going on. Get yourself down there to the goal line. So we've got 2 people down there to see it. And what would be the L2, that would be the back linesman, now needs to come up and support the blue line. So we actually, in a 3-man, we now have all 3 of our officials within the blue line area. So we've got 2 down at the goal line and 1 on the blue line. That's kind of the 8-second rule for us.
Yeah, to assist. So the linesman comes down to assist number 1 and foremost at the end of the game. Because if it ends up where there's a scrum against the boards, you might need to get in there. Exactly. So they're already there. They can start talking. The other part is to witness a goal that might go in those last crucial seconds of the game. Now, linesman, if it goes in and the referee is on the goal line with you in those last 8 seconds, you are the Statue of Liberty. Stand there. Don't make any any facial expressions or any motions for a goal. Don't wave off goals. Don't point goals.
Yeah, the referee is still down on the goal line running it, unless you're down there covering for the ref who, that could happen. In that case, you do point and blow your whistle. Actually, you blow your whistle and point. But
correct, but you don't move, because the worst thing that could happen is the referee's pointing that you got a goal and the linesman's standing there waving it.
Yep. Yeah, that
2 guys on the same spot see 2 different things.
Yep.
You're instantly going to have a problem.
Defer to the referee. Let the referee. You can assist the referee. If the referee is unsure, he or she will come to you, and they will ask you, and they will value your opinion at that point in time. But they will not value your opinion until they ask you for your opinion. So it's basically like this. When they want your opinion, they'll give it to you.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Again, we'll talk about that communication where it's essential. If I come to you and I have one that I think went in the net, and I had it happen to me a couple weeks ago, we talked about it on the show, and I was embarrassed by it. I still am. I'm still mad about it too, by the way. Yeah. And it's been, I think it's already been almost a month, but I'm still mad about it. But the linesmen were very clear. Yeah, I had it go in. The other linesman, from my angle, 99.95%. I'm like, well, that's pretty close to me. And the other referee's like, yeah, I had it go in from down there. I'm like, I knew it went in. I'm like, I know it went in. And if I come up and ask, though, and you go, well, I'm not too sure, guess what? We're done. It's going to be whatever I think at that point. So
it's got to be 100%.
So if you're going to give your opinion, give it. If you don't know, literally say, I don't know. I'll respect you if you don't know. Because guess what? If I'm
honest, because you know what?
I don't know either.
Guys celebrate. Players celebrate.
Fake
puck doesn't have to be in. That doesn't mean they aren't celebrating. If you don't see it go in, it's not a goal. Don't do it. Put yourself in a bad spot.
You are correct.
Check with, if you're unsure,
150%.
check with somebody. Call a friend. Phone a friend.
Phone a friend. Yeah.
Phone a
Good
friend.
Mobile shout out from T-Mobile. Wasn't that what they were doing on that show at one point?
Yeah, whatever that was. Phone a friend. Yeah, definitely.
So we had that going on. And then the other thing is, if you're working a 3 official system in the referee spot, if someone hasn't told you that you can go behind the net, like you personally, like said, wow, your skating is so good, don't go behind the net. Or you can, because it's not just your skating, it's also your play reading ability. If you can't read the play very well, you don't want to skate behind the net with somebody passing the puck up to a point, because guess what's going to happen?
Boom.
You're going to take it right in the face, and USA Hockey does not want you going behind the net, period. Zip, zilch, zero. That's for the officials working outside of the realm of youth hockey. All right. Yeah. So, and on top of that, I'll go further. If no one has ever told you that you have the ability to go behind the net by reading the play and your pure skating ability, you absolutely, why would you ever cross the ice diagonally across the goal line to the blue line? I saw somebody do it. And what's interesting about it, he did it, but he did it to cross back over to the bench side. So it's not even like he was getting away from the benches.
Yeah, I saw. So, we have one guy, he's a very good skater, and he had no qualms about crossing the free open side to get back to the bench side from behind the goal line. But that one, I think you just got to work the corner. There's no reason to get out of there. It's not a life or death situation. It's more of a life or death situation if you go behind the net. Why is it a life and death situation on the blue line that you got to give it up all the time? See, now you're contradicting yourself. Well, I think that if you're on the opposite side of the bench, the goal, I think, in the 3-man is to get away from the benches, so that you don't have to work through a line change all day long. It's it's a lot to be looking at when you're trying to watch 12 players and you're trying to get through another 10 guys that are changing. It's not a lot of fun, and it's dangerous because you still have to navigate your way through there. So,
and the linesmen are there.
Yeah, that too.
A lot of people in the way.
Yeah. So, anytime your linesman, a good linesman is going to do everything he can to put you away from the bench side. So, players, if you're listening, coaches, if you're listening, which I know you are, if you think the face-off should have been on that one side and it doesn't go to that side, there's a reason why.
There was a toss-up.
Neutral enough that it was a toss-up, and if it's a toss-up, guess where the puck is going down? It is not going down on the, it's going down on the bench side, because we're going to put the referee opposite that. And that puts him in the free and clear, so he doesn't have to go through the benches.
And doesn't miss that all-important goal.
Exactly.
As he's fighting his way through the benches, or her way.
Yep.
Let's point that out.
So, it's tough. Even if you have two lines changing and you're behind them and you're trying to go through that bench side, you can't see the hooks and the pulls and the tugs and the little stuff that goes on. It's really hard when you got a lot of players out there.
There could be 20 players on the ice, pretty much, all in one area, because if they're at the bench and they can physically get in the bench, they're allowed to change.
That's right.
They're still on the ice, though. That's a lot of sticks and feet,
a lot of everything.
Legs, and there's
just a lot of testosterone.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on there. So, but I agree with you. But other than that, everything was really good. I had a good weekend. I know, Scott, you had a good weekend.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a fun weekend. Everybody's in a good mood. Even the players are having fun. They're playing with guys that they don't usually get to play with. They're getting a great experience. All the coaches are there. They're putting in some really long hours. I know a lot of times you don't realize how much time these guys put in at the rinks, but I watched them. I've seen them. I know who the hard workers are with these different teams that I've seen over the years. And those guys are there, and they're putting the time in, and you see them. And, you know what? They're friendly. They'll come up to you where they normally might not come up to you. They'll come up, they see you in the building, they'll talk to you for a few minutes. It's a nice way to have some interaction with these guys where it's not like, did you see that?
Yeah. Well,
they're in a good mood. I mean, they're people at that point.
The one thing I noticed, having these snidbits of conversation, tidbits of I can't talk today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Snippets? I can't think of it. Is that right? But anyways,
Snippets works for me. Tidbits
Snippets, whatever the heck it is.
Brief conversation. Words of wisdom.
I can tell you this. There are a lot, I'd say it's 80 or 90%. Oh, there goes the camera. Very concerned about what they can do to help us, what they can do to help the officiating community. And they're very concerned about not having referees. So they're looking for ideas. The referee computer. Because Chris.
Whoops.
Welcome to the Ref Room. Hockey talk.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button there.
and I said the wrong word. But there's a lot of people that are very, very concerned. So if people don't think that or don't know that, it's true. So just so everybody knows, so that you're all okay. So just know that they care and know that they're thinking of us more than you probably realize, even though they're yelling at us.
Yeah.
So
believe me, nowadays it's not unusual to see a coach walk in about 5 minutes before the game starts or earlier. But, those last few minutes, they get nervous. They haven't seen a ref walking around the building. Maybe the ref got in there early or went to the locker room like 30 minutes before and they were with their team or something. And they haven't seen anybody. Yep. It's not uncommon to see somebody knock on the door or poke their head in and go, oh, good, we got oh, good, the camera just went out again.
Let's take it as a note and end it for today.
No, it's not unusual for them to, to be like, oh, good, we got two guys, or just wanted to make sure we had refs, because there's been a lot of times this year where they haven't had any refs or they've had one ref, and it's been a challenge for them. So I think they're a little more happy to see a warm body in the room than they used to be.
Well,
is that
you
fair
need
to say?
At least, you need one person at least, hopefully two. So it's a tough time. I think it's going to hopefully get better over the next couple years. So
Chris says he goes behind the net all the time.
I know he did.
Don't go behind the net all the time. You don't need to. It's not necessary.
He worked in the yeah, I know. He got me. I deserve that.
Yeah, kibbles and bits there.
That's what my mind feels like right now. So
right.
Yep. So, but other than that, I don't have anything else. I think everybody's working hard, and like you said, Scott, it was a really good group that we had here. They all got along well.
That ADP program is amazing. For all you guys, like if you want to get good, like if younger guys that are watching this show, I know there are some of them I've suggested, to reach out to Brad, because I know you want to work some of these better games, and I know you want to get better, and the place to do it is at the ADP program. Give us a little rundown on what you have planned for this year, for the coming season. What are we going to be doing as far as spring goes with the ADP? Because I believe in speaking with Dave Ballantyne, who runs all of the evaluations for all of IHOA. That's the Illinois Hockey Officials Association, which is all that good stuff, which you guys know about. But we are going to be doing evaluations this spring. So we are still scheduled to get out there and, work with some of the officials and teach them and evaluate them and all that good stuff, which we normally maybe not do as much during the spring. We've done so much during the winter, but the fact that we've been so swamped, we haven't been able to get as many done as we would like, probably, I'm guessing, because guys are working games. Like, you can't pull, 4 of your referees off on a Saturday to send them to go evaluate 2 or 3 games when they're needed. They've been needed. We need officials doing the games. So we're going to try, my understanding is to get some more evals done during the spring season. Are you going to be doing, we have power skating scheduled for the ADP, or are we kind of going into summer mode and waiting till the fall?
Yeah, let me give you a couple things. So number one, there's always meetings. We're gonna be done after, I think it's the 7th April here. It's on our schedule, but for Illinois people, it's open to anybody that's an Illinois official. You just let me know. You can come into the meetings. Right now, they're on Zoom. They're not in person yet, but they're probably going to be for the next season, which will be good. And then we are also looking at running a summer type camp that'll coincide with your seminar and stuff like that, which will be open to our skating staff first and any potentials. And it won't be super huge, so it'll be a good time as always, with some extra people there and some extra stuff. But the program runs throughout the season, August through April. And then we're going to sprinkle in some stuff hopefully this summer and really kick it probably next summer after we got through another year here of not a lot of referees.
Yeah.
So, but we'll end up doing that. But I'd like to point out that, Illinois is not the only state that does a development program. Lots of states have some sort of program. So if somebody is looking for one in their local, ask your referee in chief, ask the assigners. Somebody will know if there's one in your area.
Yep. And the other thing I want to point out for some of the guys that are finishing up the season, getting ready to go to school, because some of them will be going back to school for September, and they're going to school in a different location. You may want to continue reffing. I'm sure you do if you're going into a school that's got some hockey within an hour or an hour and a half, or you want to come back here and work some tournaments and games and all that good stuff. So if you are going away to school, reach out to somebody here at Iowa. I'm sure they would be happy to connect you in the market that you're going to be in, because I'm sure they need referees in those areas. And, what a great way to have somebody help you get in right away, where, like somebody will make a call and let them know your level and what you can be working, and you can get your games right away. It won't be like well, who is this guy? We don't know who he is.
There's just one caveat to that, and I'll just so everybody knows, if you're going to do that, everybody, it's great. A lot of the areas are like, yeah, more than willing. They welcome us because we're all officials, so we're all inter tandem together. But if you are gonna referee, it would be referee and live for school outside of the central district, if you're in this district, or if you're in your own district like the Rocky Mountain district or Michigan, if you're going to referee outside that district, you have to go to your USA Hockey profile, and then in that profile there's a spot to add another district to it, so that you will be eligible to referee games there. So that's just something that becomes a paperwork issue that a lot of people don't know. So just throwing that out there, if you're going to referee or try to referee in another district, you have to add that district to your profile.
Oh, I didn't know that either. So that's great information.
Not for nationals, though.
Okay. Well, nationals, if you're, you have to be a level 4, most likely. You can be a level 3, but you have to be invited at that point. They probably have to be in your area and short officials. And it's still going to come from, does it come from the assigners at that point, or does it come from an evaluation? I'm not sure. What is the process for that, Brad? So like normally you'd have to be evaluated to go to nationals.
Yeah. So you get an email a couple months before, and it asks you what your availability is, if you would even be willing to, because the last thing they want to do is say, oh yeah, why don't you come work nationals? And 50% of them go, yeah, no, I have no interest.
Yeah.
All right. So they understand that. So what happens is you put your, yeah, I'd like to do it. Then it goes back to your local, and somebody knows you in your local if you're putting in for nationals. If they don't, that could maybe be a bad sign. You should probably know some people. So if you want to go to something like that, though, tell the people that are in your area that you're interested in going, because sometimes they won't send you just because they didn't know that you were interested in going.
Oh, man, I guess I should have raised my hand a long time ago.
There you go. No, I'm just saying, though, just make sure that if you have goals in officiating, tell somebody. We had quite a few guys that worked games over this state championship and stuff. That was their officiating goal.
Yeah.
That was expressed. and people listened, and they made sure that they helped them attain that goal. So now maybe they get set a new goal for this upcoming season. So just make it known what you want to do, and
Yeah.
that's some
Some
of my
guys
best
want to
advice.
go to the camps. They want to go to one of the summer camps, the advanced camps, to be able to move up, or they want to work some other leagues.
If
Raise
you're
your hand.
interested,
Let
if you're
people know.
interested in those, ask people that have gone.
Yeah.
Because don't walk into it like people have done in the past. And they, when I went, I'll be the first one to admit, when I went, I was not as prepared as I should have been. And if I would have known how hard it was, I would have been more prepared. And I'll be the first one to admit it.
So in other words, you would have started running months in advance.
No, I had been running. That wasn't the issue.
okay.
So, but no, they were very long days at that point, and it was, you're up at this time, and I just would have changed some things in my personal regimen to make my life easier when I went. So, but that would have been a big thing. But
Yeah.
Oh boy, we're already at an hour, Scott.
Yeah, I know. Brad's like,
So-
well, the camera's not working. Well, let's just do 30 minutes. Yeah, right.
Eh.
Yeah, Brad
Yeah, well-
only talking for 30 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Hey, I try.
This is
So-
how Brad and I have those 3-hour conversations plus in the middle of the night. Yeah.
It's
We haven't
beautiful
had one of those
outside
in a while, actually. So, yeah.
because I started working
Yeah, I
so
know.
early because I'm on that East Coast team, and it felt good. I got done today.
I got a few days off this
3:30.
week, so, I might have to keep you up late.
That's fine. I'm always willing to prep. So we got some stuff to
Right.
talk about anyway. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, well, we'll start to wrap it up. It was a great week with the ADP. Again, guys, start looking. There
great
are some
season.
games already posting for April. There's games out there going up, so it'll be busy.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be real busy. Trust me, you want to work spring, you can work. There'll be plenty of games. The big tournament, those games have been posted for quite some time. Probably already have a bunch of them, I'm sure, for all you guys that work regularly. If you haven't,
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
I forgot what you were
big
talking
tournament.
about.
It's
The 200 by 85.
Yeah. I was going to call it the spring version of the Nike Bow or whatever you want to call it, but it's
Yeah.
it's big. So there's lots of games out there. So grab them. Lots of hockey available. High schools will be kicking off in another week or 10 days, something like that. Their games will be going
First.
full blast. I think some of
Rosters
them
open
are
up
already.
the first.
They open them. There you go. So that'll be happening. AAA, we might see some of those guys at some tournaments or showcases. Same thing with Central States.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Well, I'm sure some of the the other teams will be playing. So
Lot of-
there'll be a lot of stuff out there.
A lot of men's league. Men's league at this time of the year.
Right here you can see men's
Yeah,
league. It's written
it's
all
not that
over my
bad today.
men's league is written all over my face.
Not that bad today. It
No,
was
it's
really
better.
it was really purple when I saw you on.
Well, at least
on Saturday.
the chiclets are still there, which is the good news. Thanks to the all roads lead to men's league. Yes. So.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, that caught me funny.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's true. I don't care how good you are. All roads lead to men's league. I don't care if you played house league or you played in the NHL. You're going to end up in men's league at some point.
Yep.
Where we will find you. All right. Well, you
right.
guys have a great week. We do this every Monday now. It's starting at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. That's hopefully we don't have to do this daylight savings thing again. Or do we have one? Somebody said we have another year of this. Somebody told me it passed through the Senate or whatever, but that doesn't mean it's done. So we still have at least one more year of this. I'm like, no,
I
please,
hope not.
please, no,
I hope not. I hate
please,
this.
no. Let's see. Arcady says, Brad, you need the mic like Scott uses.
Yeah, I know. We're working on getting me into another area of the house, so it's coming.
Yep.
It's on my list. Trust me.
Okay. All right. Very good, Arcady. How you doing, buddy?
Thanks for turning
Good to
in.
see you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Absolutely.
haven't seen you in the rink in a while, Arcady.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for checking in. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next Monday. It's the Ref Room. If you love the show, which I hope you do, you could buy us a coffee. We could certainly use it. That would keep my camera awake, so it doesn't go to sleep. Buy some caffeine for that camera. All right. You can do that refroom or buymeacoffee.com/refroom. All right.
There you go.
All right. Subscribe. If you haven't at least hit the like button. Do us a favor. Hit the like button right now. It's not that difficult. You're watching, hit the like button. It helps. Helps the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Even better. Hit the notification button. We appreciate it. And we will see you next Monday right here on the Ref Room. I'm Scott Smokin Silz. And my man,
Brad Baumruck.
See, it's like this. Just crickets. You don't hear
Crickets.
anything. Come on, Brad.
Oh, fine. Everybody
All right.
make fun of the duck.
Right. All right. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next Monday. Peace out.